Good afternoon, futures traders. Today is Monday, June 22nd. The time 3:25. Thought I'd share with you some exciting updates that we're making to Praedox Sentinel. This will be version 4.5. We are adding an AI market briefing component, which will use one of the large language models. In this case, we're going to be starting with Claude and eventually add Grok and or Chat GPT and maybe Gemini. But for this version, we'll be using Claude. And what you'll do is you will acquire an API key, which is quite simple to do. You just go into the console for Claude and you get yourself an API key. You put $20 in the API account, and every time you run the market briefing, it'll deduct 13 to 20 cents depending on which model you'd like to use. So if you want to use Sonnet, it's around 13 cents a report. If you want to use Opus, it's around 20 cents a report. So, and what this briefing will do is it will look at the market structure based on the current price. And because Sentinel has so much power behind it, it has all the key levels. It has the Fibonacci levels. It has your volume profiles. It has your London area highs and lows. Like I said, it keeps track of high volume nodes, your value area low, your value area high, your point of control, and a whole lot of other stuff. We are able to pass all of this information via the prompt through the API so that the large language model can analyze the market structure for you. It will then generate a market brief, and it will also give you some ideas, not necessarily trades, and it's not basically saying take this trade or take that trade. It's giving you some ideas, and then you can see what they look like on the chart. It's called a trade plan, and you as the trader can determine, is this something that I want to execute? Is there something I don't like about it? Maybe there's a different setup that it's looking at. And again, it's AI. It doesn't mean it's 100%. There's nothing is 100%. There are losing trades, but it'll give you a good idea on what market structure is at the time you generate the report. So if you do have an API key and you want to use this, you will see this button appear on your Sentinel dashboard. So if you click AI Market Briefing, you'll see Analyzing. And once analyzing the report is done, you will see what it will determine to be the most likely structural setup. It will highlight it on the chart for you, and it will also generate an AI market briefing report right here. Okay, so we'll wait for that to finish. It takes about 35 seconds because it is crunching a lot. There's your brief. And then you'll notice here that it gives you a trade plan. It says, well, you want to take a possible entry here, short. Here's your target. Here's your break even, which is not your break even, but if you want to move to break even when you're at 1R, you can do that. It's basically saying, look, you could take the rejection off of this level here. You have confluence at the 23.6 and the high volume node. And it so far has pulled back 41%, and then it reclaimed the lows again. So it's looking at the Fibonacci's, and it says it reclaimed about 41%, which was right about here. And then it continued to reclaim the lows again. So if you like this possible trade plan, then you can keep it. If you wanted to look at some of the other ideas it gives you, and we'll look through the details in a second, it gives you 3 different possibilities. So this is what it considers the most likely trade plan. Okay, here's the second one. And if you click on the button, Show Trade Plan, it will show it to you on the chart automatically. It won't take the trade. These are just possible scenarios for you to look at. Okay, so this one here is saying take the break of the value area low. If it breaks down, go short. Okay, if you want to look at the third trade plan, okay, this is basically saying that take the long to look to see if it squeezes higher. So if we liked the way market structure was looking at this time, and we were in a good spot, we would say, okay, we'll take the trade here. I don't necessarily like this here, but you'll get an idea. Okay, it's also looking at the last 30 bars to see if we're ranging, trending in a given direction. So right now, it's saying we're trending down. I would assume that if I ran this again, it'll start to show us that we are ranging. Okay. If you want to remove these trade plans off of this, so here's a good example. This one here was the long, and it said you could take this long here. Okay. Now, if you have an ATM, you probably already hit your break even plus 21 ticks. That's what I like to use. So if you like to go after your 20 ticks, you would have entered here and you were right here. You made 32 ticks. You were out. You were out. Okay. So that gives you a good idea on what that would look like. So again, this shows you the different trade plans for you, and you can choose. Now, if you want to get rid of these, you click this little X here, and this will tell you his last run on 327. So let's take a look at some of the details it gives you. Well, the first thing it's going to look at is going to tell you what's the overall trend of the market. Well, this is basically saying it's down. It's weak. It's below value. Gives you a quick headline. It said, hey, NQ is grinding lower and late in the cash session. It's pinned under the VWAP and under the EMA, which it is. Any news? It gives you any news that's going on. It's talking about Alphabet's down around 5 to 6% on the day. It gives you some news about what's going on in the industry. Okay, we see that DeepMind executive departed, went to Anthropic. Not necessarily a bad thing, okay, but it's dragging down the Nasdaq Composite right now. Okay, it gives you market sentiments, taking a look at the VIX, giving you an idea of what the VIX is doing. Okay, it's up about 4% today, so volatility is a little higher than normal. Not crazy, but it's normal. Right? It's telling you it's a split tape. Dow is up, Nasdaq is lagging because of the Alphabet and tech drops. Russell 2000 is green, and it's rotating out of Medicap. So it's giving you some market sentiment. And then it'll give you the market structural read. Now, this is for you geeks that like to read all this information. Okay, like I said, if you just want to see the trade plans on the chart, you can. You can just click on the trade plans. Take a look at this trade plan earlier. Okay, kind of nailed it. This trade plan, you were said to enter here, and you already hit your target. You're done. Okay, if you like that setup. So we are currently testing this, so you can get an idea. It'll give you your key levels on where they are, what to watch out for. And if you want to see the full briefing, you can click on the link there. And here is the full briefing in the browser. Okay. So if you want to print it out, you can just print it out in your browser. Okay. Give you an idea there. So that is going to be Praedox Sentinel AI version. Okay. This is the beginning stages of using real AI. This is not going to be a marketing term like a lot of these other companies use. Okay. Just because you calculate a number doesn't mean it's AI. We are going to be using AI via the Claude API. And like I said, we are also going to add some of the other large language models later on. Okay. So I thought I'd share with you this information, gives you an idea on what that's going to look like. And we are, like I said, we're in the development stages of it. You know, if we want to run it again, get a feel for what that's going to look like. Okay. Let's see what that scenario looks like. Now, you can run it as many times as you want. Again, 13 cents a pop. It's up to you. You can run 10 times. It's $1.30 for the day. That's not a lot of money to help you understand the structure of the market. So again, it's analyzing. Like I said, it takes about 35 seconds. We've made this pretty efficient. We'll do some more caching and things like that as well. So the briefing is ready, and this is the scenario it's saying that's the most likely. Breaking of this level here. Okay, it's mid pullback right now. Now 41% back into the pull. Again, fibs are down. We got in here, came here. We're about 41% pulled back. Okay, we do have confluence here with the 23.6 and the high volume nodes and the point of controls here. And if you wanted to look at the other scenarios now, right, in addition to this one, okay, that was your first trade plan. Your second trade plan is saying, okay, maybe what you do is you take this entry here. That might not be a bad one to take. Okay, we kind of missed it because we were talking, right? So you could have taken a short here, possibly as a trade plan. and that's that short trade plan. So if we had gotten in there, we would have hit our break even 1R, and we would have gotten in a pretty good return there, depending on the number of contracts. And then the third scenario was a long buying the dip at the fib shelf. All right. And that's basically saying, hey, look, buy down here, put your stop here, and buy this shelf. Okay. So again, these are not meant to be signals. They are meant to give you plans based on the market structure. Okay. And like I said, these are for you to utilize in your trading. Gives you just another tool to look at. You can see this one would have done well. You would have gotten at least a 1R return on it. And again, it's another tool in the toolbox to help you as a trader. Okay. So as always, if you want more information on
Order canceled.
Praedox Sentinel or the Praedox tools in general, give us a shout, get us on Discord, send me an email, shoot me a message, leave me a comment. Happy to respond. Join our Discord. It's free to join. Talk to some of the other traders. You could see the Praedox lab where we're testing different theories and strategies. Okay, we are in a beta test on Bolt. And if you want to see how Bolt is doing today, it's doing pretty good. Okay, we just had a reversal here. So I'm just letting this run in sim just to see how it's doing. So far, so good. And like I said, we're happy to share anything we have. We're pretty wide open, right? We had some traders that lost today, and they were pretty vocal on what lessons they learned and what they can do better. We do post both losses as well as successes. So this is a transparent family. We have about 60 Praedox traders. So come on, join us. If you enjoy the content, please do like and subscribe. It will help us out with the YouTube algorithm. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.